On today's show,
we gather around the NBA water cooler to debate whether the Rockets are currently the best team in the league.
in Fill in the Blank, Cousins tackling Randall was, Ross missed dunk was, and John Legend performing at All-Star is...
And we miss Brent Barry, so let's talk about his salad.
It's Tuesday, December 13th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV, or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
We're still on the air.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily.
And last, certainly not least, filling in for Trey Kirby, it's Walter, the water cooler guy. Walter, hey buddy!
Hey,
buddy! What do you got for us, Walter?
Well, I was watching Jeopardy with your boy Trey yesterday. We saw this crazy clip. I just think it would be perfect for your guys' show. You gotta see this.
Finish basketball for 1,000.
Karl Malone was one of the most dominant at this two-word position. Amy.
What is point guard?
Nope. Tim or Bridget? He was a great power forward.
These people didn't even know who Karl Malone was. Can you believe it? Anyways, Trey looks at me, he says, bro, what other two-word positions would Karl Malone dominate? I said, that's a good question, bro. And then I got thinking, came up with a couple of good ones. The guy was definitely a good weightlifter, no doubt about it, but he was also a really good motorcycle rider. And who can forget, he was no doubt a dominant outerwear model. So many good pictures of my man Karl Malone, but Trey told me make sure you get some answers from the fans, so feel free to send them in on Twitter. Use your guys' hashtag the starters, am I right?
That's right, man.
I'm right, send them in, we'll check them out later.
All right,
Well
good stuff.
done.
Get those tweets in. We're going to play a little fill in the blank in regards to Cousins and Terrence Ross and John Legend performing at All-Star Weekend. And for the first time in a long time, we're going to open up the starters mailbox, answer a few of your questions. But right now, we go back to Walter to find out the latest NBA water cooler gossip. What are people around the office saying about this beloved league of ours? Walter.
So I was kicking it with Cute Steve over on the 6th floor. You guys know Cute Steve, right?
Steve's really cute.
Great guy, super cute. He's got this crazy theory though. He told me that since they've won 7 straight games and beat the Warriors in Golden State, the Houston Rockets are the best team in the league. It's crazy, but I'll buy it.
Whoa, cute Steve. Slow the flow a little bit. The Houston Rockets are a very good basketball team. That being said, you have to be really, really good on the defensive end to be the best basketball team. You don't have to be the best, you have to be good enough. And that's exactly what Mike D'Antoni said to our friend Trey earlier this year when he interviewed him. We're not going to be the best defensive team is what he said, but we just have to be good enough, like top 10. And that's what they've been this year, and that's what recently is a little bit scary about them. They've been good enough. In late game possessions, they've been getting it done. They get down to the late game sort of seconds, and Trevor Ariza comes up with a big block, or Patrick Beverley comes up with a real nice defensive play. Usually we're talking about offenses that bail out defenses, but in this instance, the Houston Rockets are so good offensively, they need a defense to bail them out occasionally, and that's what they're doing with their greatest defensive players recently. They're not quite good enough. They're still 20th in the league, but this month, short month, they're 5th in the league. So
right.
their defense just has to get it up a little bit, like Mike D'Antoni said to our friend Trey.
Yeah, you said that you were talking to Cute Steve. It sounds like you were talking to Matt Moore. Do you know Matt Moore?
I've read some of his stuff online. He's never around the office.
Yeah, he wears a hat sometimes. But Matt Moore, in the CBS Power Rankings, he had the Rockets number 1. NBA.com, ESPN, they got the Rockets at 5.
Yeah.
Behind your Warriors and your Cavs and your Spurs and your Raptors. But Matt Moore makes a good point. He says when you look at the combination of their signature wins and even their good losses and what they've done over this hot streak, that's why he's making the case that they're number 1. You got to point out they're 12-2 since Patrick Beverley's come back.
That's been a huge difference.
That's huge because suddenly they're not garbage when James Harden goes to the bench. They're actually outplaying teams over the last little while in terms of net rating. So that's a huge plus, and defensively we know he gives them. So are they the best team in the league? No, there's no way I'm putting them ahead of your Warriors or even your Spurs or your Cavs right now. But top 5 is pretty impressive for a team that some people were questioning even coming into the season whether it would even be a playoff team.
Top 5 as a general ranking, you mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's their offense as well which stands out right now, because we know with any time Mike D'Antoni's in charge of a team, they score without any problems, and they're getting the 3 points. They're shooting the most. They're making the most. They're shooting them at a reasonable percentage, 6th best in the league. But they're also getting inside in scoring in the paint, which is important. They're not just living on the 3-point line, because guys like Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, and Harden are hot right now. But if those guys cool off, then you need something else to fall back on. So that's a good sign for them to have another way of scoring. And the defense, again, because it's the James Harden-led team, I think a lot of people are still skeptical whether or not they can maintain this level of defense for the entire season. 1 month is great, but now you've got to do it over the course of the season if they want to be considered legit title contenders.
Yeah, Eric Gordon is on fire from three-point land. 10 straight games he's hit 3 or more threes. 24 made threes over the last 4 games alone. He's getting looks because he got Harden creating. Teams have to decide whether they're going to sag in the defense to try and stop Harden and lobs to the rim with Capella, or stay at home on the shooters. They're not really staying home with them. And you said they'll jack him up even if a guy's near them, the way they're shooting right now.
Those guys are confident playing around James Harden, and that's what Mike D'Antoni does. He makes those role players extremely confident. Defense is the question.
All right, back to Walter. What else are people saying?
I hate to admit it to you guys, but had to ditch the old water cooler this morning. Yeah, me, Morgan, Reggie, Chicken Sandwich, we were all getting our coffee on this morning because last night's Blazers-Clippers game took forever. I was struggling this morning, guys. NBA games are too long. I got people to talk to, water to drink.
This is something that the NBA is definitely watching. It's a problem. Adam Silver has mentioned it before. The end of games, they take too long. There are too many ads there. Why can't we be like soccer one day? You know what the problem is? Soccer, there's an intermission at halftime, and that's it. There are no breaks in the middle of play. We just need to get our ad revenue up. People need to pay more for those 30-second and 60-second blocks, and then we won't care.
Well, it would help by reducing timeouts, because we take all these timeouts and then we go to commercial break. Last night, the Blazers-Clippers, you said it there, Walter. This is insane, guys. It took 24 real-time minutes to play the last minute of that game. Now, there was the whole DeAndre and Evan Turner, and they had to figure all that out. I get that. They had to go look at replay and who gets ejected and all that. 24 minutes for 1 minute of gameplay.
That's enough time to watch the starters.
That's absolutely right. If you take away the commercials here, you're absolutely right.
I've seen it on YouTube.
But it's nuts. And like, you got to reduce timeouts because there's too many, and it just ruins the flow. The best thing about basketball is when teams are going back and forth and there's a flow and a rhythm to the game, similar to soccer. And all these timeouts, especially in the end of games where coaches want to draw it up and get a good shot, there's just too many of them. You get 3 each team in the fourth quarter as it is, 2 in the final couple minutes. We don't need that many. We don't need that many.
The problem is, though, trying to convince the coaches and the owners that they want to reduce these timeouts, because coaches want every single second they can to strategize and to plan and to draw up a play. But fans just say, let's just play, let's get it out there. But if you've got all those in your pocket to be able to take your time to set things up, coaches are going to use them. The ones that drive us crazy the most, though, are the back-to-back timeouts where...
That has to go.
Yeah, where you see one team set up a play and then another team will just call a timeout before even a second has come off the clock. That's the worst part. But look, soccer's 42 minutes longer, Tass, so in its game, 90 minutes long, and this is only 48. Do you really want it to go that long?
What do you mean? Do you want it to go that long? It's shorter. The time elapsed.
Yeah, but you said
shorter.
we need it to be like soccer. I mean, we only play one half of soccer.
He just wants to get rid of ads completely, or at least charge more for them. I guess.
Halftime can be long. In between quarters can be long. It's just the end of games. The TV
It's brutal.
ads.
It's
we
brutal,
need
especially
cost
late
per
game.
unit to go up.
All right, Trey. Walter. You look like Trey, sorry.
Well, yeah, people say that around the office, there's no doubt, but I was hanging with the brainchild in the treehouse, and get this, he knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a girl who knows another girl who used to know a guy who claims to be best friends with Carmelo Anthony, and I hate to break it to you guys, but Melo's right. Watch out for a lockout.
That's not what he said.
Watch out for a lockout.
That's not what he said.
Watch out for a lockout.
What did he say? What
This
did Melo say?
hearsay, so much hearsay coming from that water cooler.
People are talking.
He's skeptical of a deal getting done by Thursday's deadline.
Right.
That doesn't mean there's going to be a lockout. We won't have a work stoppage until the end of June. That's a long time. And they could still be meeting right now because there's a deadline for Thursday to get it done. We don't know what's going to happen. And Melo again said maybe later on. And David Aldridge said that it's not necessarily going to be an issue. That man has an inside information unlike all your hearsay going on over there. He said, a source telling me there's a legit snag between league and union CBA talks. It's, quote, nothing that should stop deal from getting done. So we're months and months away from a work stoppage. Thursday's deadline is a little bit of a snag. There's no doubt about that. And Melo said that it might not be done by then, but work stoppage, no, not necessarily.
I think that's important to point out, and you did it there. It's if they don't come to an agreement by the end of Thursday or we get to Friday, it's a procedural deadline, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a lockout then is happening next year. There's still tons of time to figure it out. I think what's unfortunate is we were so optimistic that it was going to get done, all we were hearing, and it still might, to suddenly have Melo, who is a vice president of the Players Union, you know, he knows something's going on, despite whatever Walter's saying through the back channels and the broken telephone. I mean, he's obviously a little skeptic.
I think
skeptic.
both sides know there's too much at stake right now. They can't afford to lock out. There'll be no sympathy for anybody, so they have to get it done. Walter.
What are you doing?
Hydrating.
You got a whole
You got a
water
chia pet
cooler,
on your
man.
face.
Relax, man. All right, I gotta take a break. When we come back, Cousins tackles Randall, and T. Ross gives us the very rare weekday whoopsie. Don't go anywhere. Back with the starters, and it's time to play a little fill in the blank. TK is finally here. I guess that Clippers-Blazers game did get to you. It was late. Let's play it though, buddy.
Are you ready for the football? In the first quarter of last night's Lakers-Kings game, after locking arms with Julius Randle, DeMarcus Cousins got his Bruce Smith on and tackled Randle to the ground. Fill in the blank. Cousins tackling Randle was blank.
That was a vet move because he didn't get called for anything. That was a smart maneuver.
Unnecessary.
Explosive, man. That was explosive. Did you see what Luke Walton did after that happened?
Yeah.
Luke Walton went crazy.
Yeah, I think he's still swearing actually at the officials.
bonkers over the no call because, as you said, a little vet move there. He somehow got away with it. I don't
Look,
really know
Julius
how.
Randle did sort of just come across and get in his way, but there was no need for DeMarcus to do that. 3 referees, though, when you see 2 bodies hit the floor, I mean, someone should have seen something and blown something.
Sure. But like Instagram selfies, it's all about angles. And the referees didn't necessarily have an angle on this play. And that's what happened. I think the close referee here had a player in between himself and the duo. The other referee was looking down at Rudy Gay. The baseline referee had a bunch of people in between. That's what happens.
2 massive men, though, just hitting the ground like that. I mean, just blow the whistle to say, hey, what's going on over here? Especially because these 2 players and these teams have history.
We need a 4th referee.
Yeah, well, we might. In the D-League, they're getting them.
They're going to give it a go.
it's a try.
Did you like Walton sticking up for his team there in Randall?
Well,
going bonkers, getting tossed very early?
I think he overdid it a little, especially in the first quarter.
He took off his jacket.
Yeah, he took off the jacket. I thought he was going to throw that into the crowd. I don't think he needed to get quite out there in the referee's face that much, that early into the game. There's still plenty of time left. But I understand his point. He was saying, hey, listen, the opponent just dragged my guy to the ground and nothing was called. Someone should have called something.
Usually Cuz is getting himself kicked out of the game. His maneuver there got a coach kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
Vet move.
Impressive stuff. All right, Trey, next one.
Just because you won a dunk contest doesn't mean you can't blow a windmill. And unfortunately, Terrence Ross found that out the hard way last night when he straight up doinked a wide open windmill in the 4th quarter of a big Raps win against the Bucks. Guys, fill in the blank. Terrence Ross's missed dunk was blank.
That was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
How so?
I'm not good at math, but I
Right.
do know this. 3 is better than 2.
Right.
T. Ross misses the dunk. Run it back. The Raptors get the ball.
Yeah.
They get the offensive rebound. So here he goes. He's going to put on a show. Who cares? You're killing the Bucks at home. But look, Corey Joseph picks it up. All right, let's run our play here. Oh, Kyle Lowry can't miss threes. Let's knock down a 3. 3's better than 2.
Well, you are pretty good at maths because 3 is better than 2.
So there you go. It's absolutely
I
brilliant.
said
Daryl
unlucky.
Morey over here.
I said it's unlucky because he had a great night. He's having a great season. He's a former slam dunk champ. He was due to have just one of those ones. It happens to every single player. They were up. They were big. He was probably showboating a little. Thought, I'm just going to throw down a windmill. Basketball god said to him, just calm your farm there, Terrence.
Calm your farm?
Yeah.
Never heard that. Did you make that up? Or is that a saying?
You say it with an Australian accent, it actually
believe it.
rhymes too.
When the crops aren't growing well, just calm your farm. Calm it down. I thought it was windy. It produced enough wind to power the CN Tower for like a year. I mean, all of that force coming down. That was
This would have
a
been huge.
strong-
Yeah, he took off.
That was a beautiful miss.
Oh, yeah.
See,
it's
he
a good
didn't
miss.
look away. That's the thing. Like, he didn't get too carried away. I sort of wanted to think he was looking in the crowd or, showboating, but he really wasn't.
No.
Just a doinker.
He's got a nice windmill, too.
Yeah.
Too bad.
All right, Trey, final one here.
All right, good news, lovebirds. Yesterday, it was announced that 10-time Grammy winner John Legend will be headlining the halftime show at the 2017 All-Star Game in New Orleans. Hope you like slow jazz. Guys, fill in the blank. The best part about John Legend headlining the All-Star Game is blank.
He's not Sting, no, but listen, I'm not.
I got the same answer. I got the exact same
I
answer.
just want to say I like Sting, I respect him, but I don't think he was the best choice for the NBA All-Star Game.
What do you mean? A
year.
64-year-old singing Desert Rose isn't the perfect guy? for
He's
the
a
All-Star Game?
brilliant. I've seen him live. He's a brilliant entertainer, but
Yeah, well, you're
different
65.
audience.
It makes sense.
Not quite. But,
The nice Sting footage. Great. It's been a while. The greatest part about this is that
he looks like Walter.
I've seen John Legend live multiple times. The man is angelic. He can put on a show. It's going to be him and the keys and the piano.
Is it gonna
and
be a
I'll be
little too
singing.
slow?
I'll be singing. I don't care if it's too slow. I'm going to love every second.
All right, well, let's hear what the people think. Let us know on Twitter, #TheStarters.
He'll bring out some friends. He'll bring out an Andre 3000. Somebody will come out there.
Is that a scoop? Do you know something we don't know?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't need to bring out anybody. He's John Legend.
When we come back, the mailbox.
Oh, look, there's mail. We got mail. Woohoo!
Yes, we've got mail. First time in a long time we've opened it up here on the TV show, saving it for the Twitter show and the Drop podcast usually, but a couple here. You guys are great. Keep sending them in, thestarters@nba.com. Our first one is from Ryan G. He writes, after watching your quarter season awards episode, I'm wondering why Patrick Beverley never gets any love for Defensive Player of the Year. I know it usually goes to a forward or a center because of their interior defense, but Bevs is one of the best perimeter and one-on-one defenders in the NBA. He even stopped Westbrook at the end of the Rockets Thunder game to eke out the win. Again, that's from Ryan G. What do you think?
Good question. He missed, obviously, the start of the season, so that's why he wasn't considered for our quarterly awards.
Yeah.
He was all defense 2 years ago, back in 2014.
Second team.
Second team, excuse me, yeah. But he had an off year last year defensively. He is an elite defender, and the stats support that. I think what counts against him for Defensive Player of the Year, he's not able to guard multiple positions like Draymond and Kawhi. He's very good at stopping ones and twos, but I don't think you would put him on threes or fours or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I just think that, there's other parts of his game that doesn't stand out quite so much defensively as the other guys. We know he's aggressive. We know he really attacks the player, but he does also blur the line a little bit between what's good defense and what's perhaps on the fringe of illegal defense as far as grabbing and holding guys like that.
I'd say he's a little bit more pesty than Matthew Dellavedova. People call Delly a pest.
Yeah.
I think you hate to play against him, obviously, but you love to have him on your team. The problem with him winning the Defensive Player of the Year is that a point guard just can't impact the game like a Gary Payton did. That was the last point guard to ever win Defensive Player of the Year because there were hand-checking rules back then. It's just different. You just can't clutch and grab, although Beverly does some clutching and grabbing. You can't do it the same way. And so, yeah, he said, as the emailer said, forwards and centers win. Well, really, it's big guys, generally. Since 95, when Gary Payton won, 95, 96, Meta World Peace has won it. That's a wing player who really guards threes and fours. And Kawhi, who is a special guy. Those are the only real wings, since Gary Payton. It's got to go to a big guy, really.
Yeah, isn't GP's the only point guard to ever win this thing? There's been other guards in Jordan and Cooper and so on, but only point guard? You're absolutely right. Great points. All right, we got another quick one here. This one, to the point. Okay, seriously, guys, where is Brent Barry? I missed the Bone Zone. That's from Travis, and we couldn't agree more. So, ladies and gentlemen,
It's good to hear that again.
yeah, he's not here.
It's been a while.
He's not here. We just wanted to play that.
Yeah. He's not
Because
here,
we did
no.
miss it.
Brent likes to call his hair salad. So in honor of Brent, Because he just likes to mess up his hair.
You're gonna give us some salad here?
This is for you, Brent.
Look at that
Look at that
flow.
salad.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, look. Oh, yeah. Here's the salad man himself.
Doesn't look too salady. Yeah, that's more
A little
salady.
more salady. This is, of course, Brent's.
More salady. That's a
best
full
moments
cob
on
right there.
He still works here, just not on our show.
Yeah, it's scheduling problems. That's the thing. If you want the honest truth, we miss Bones though.
Yeah,
Definitely
we need him
miss
back.
Wow, you just.
I can't rock the salad
You just
like
fixed
him.
your
Like
hair.
Brent.
Yeah, how is your hair back to perfect already?
All right, keep your
Makeup people. We
NBA-ish.
got makeup people.
Keep your NBA-ish questions coming. Email us at thestarters@nba.com. We got Tina working the computer and smiling away there. Thanks, Tina. Final break. When we return, Lily's very solid play. Is that pesky Dellavedova?
There it is, yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Beautiful
interesting.
pass, Deli.
Back when Walter was in the house, we asked you what other two-word positions did Karl Malone dominate, like power forward, weightlifter, outerwear model? Trey, you got to feel the best answer.
Yeah, some good ones. This one comes from Raul, who says Karl Malone was also a great elbow thrower, one of the best in history. Barry says he was a great ball whisperer, always talking the ball at his free throws. And Ray Min says male man, like a million other people. But that's the right answer.
Yeah, good stuff, Ray. All right, tonight's pick and play. It's the Thunder and Blazers test, the only one taking PDX at home.
Damian Lillard's shoes are dropping. He's gonna drop it.
All right, Lee, where are we going for VSP?
And up to Toronto for another passport play. It's America to Greece to Bosnia to Australia to Bosnia for a beautiful layup in Toronto.
Oh.
So it really covers everyone here. Here it is again, and it's a netball play to boot.
As many
Beautiful
passports
finish.
as you have.
That's
right
what
there.
I call a very solid play.
Awesome.
We also had a wedgie last night.
Yes!
Why not?
We needed
It's been a while.
We needed
Wedgie Thunder! Yeah, baby. Number 14 on the season, courtesy of Dorian Finney-Smith. A beautiful block wedgie. The rare block wedgie. Number 14 on the year, folks. We're projected to get 50. Projected to
Awesome
get
stuff.
50 on the season.
Awesome stuff. All right, guys, we had the Twitter show this morning. We discussed the Grizzlies' 6-game winning streak, how to sleep on a plane, and Trey counted down his top 5 NBA Harry Potter characters.
Here are your top 5 players who could live in J.K. Rowling's wizarding world. At number 5, Mindaugas Kuzminskis.
Oh, that sounds like a Harry Potter name.
Right?
Oh, man.
Think he would be a member of the Order of the Phoenix. Number 4, Fred Van Vliet. Former Hufflepuff student who becomes an Auror for the Ministry of Magic. At number 3, Scal Labissiere. He's a chaser on the Slytherin Quidditch team. Number 2, Tarek Black. A prisoner at Azkaban. He worked with you-know-who. Or did he? And number 1, Dragon Bender. A Death Eater.
It is.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, salads can be served cold, hot, or hairy.
We miss you, Bones. Race the night, people.